Hello, I'm here with Carolyn Johnston today, who has
Hello.
been my Alexander teacher for about 20 years now. She's going to share with us a lot of information, but first we have an exercise for you to do. And that is we need you to hit the pause button on the video and take some pen and paper and draw your foot, or at least how you think of as your foot. So no cheating on this, no looking at your foot or looking at a book. Even if you're a med student, just do it anyway. We want to see how you think of your foot. So hit the pause button now. Okay, so hopefully you did better job than I did 20 years ago when Carolyn and I first met. This is essentially what I drew. So Carolyn, can you explain to us what's wrong with this picture?
Okay. Well, your foot is not shaped like a boot, so that's not very real. And if that would be like having your tibia on your heel like this. So when I see people back weighted, that tells me that their map of their foot is not correct. They don't have the right idea in their head. So you go backwards, and then there'll be a compensating effort to pitch forward because you'll feel yourself falling backwards. And then there's a tug of war between the forward and the backwards going on, and everything else above will compensate for all of that. So really, we've got to move your map, your picture, to bring this tibia up on top of the talus, like so. Then you have all this support behind your lower leg, back and down into the earth.
Okay. So what about balance from side to side?
Side to side is the issue of being too much on the outside of your foot or being flat-footed. If you're too much on the outside of your foot, which most people, a lot of people are, then gravity is going to take that, your whole structure, and have your tibia fall off to the left or the right, depending on which foot you're talking about. So we've got to get yourself back up to where everything is balanced again. And if you're too much flat-footed on the other side, then all this will fall down and your tibia will fall to the inside. Most of people that have that problem, which aren't very many, they are knock-kneed usually.
Okay. So in real life, as we go through, we're not actually falling down if we have a condition of being on either side of the foot. So what happens to keep us upright in those cases?
The foot is designed to have 4 places of balance. Your big toe, the ball of your big toe, you can see that that structure is the largest of all of the metatarsals. So gravity takes that down. You have this arch that is horizontal as well as longitudinal. So that takes the little toe ball down on the ground. In the back, in the calcaneus, you have 2 little points on the bottom of the heel, here and here. Some people like to think of this as a tripod, but I like to think of it as 4 points here, and the 2 in the front. So your muscles of your lower leg and your foot will tend to release and spread out like roots when you have a thought of those 4 points being taken down to the ground.
Okay. And when it's not like that, up above, what happens?
Then everything will compensate. So you'll have a tug. If you're too far to the outside, then your muscles on the inside of your leg will start to pull harder, and then they pull a little too hard, so then the other ones have to work on the other side, and that happens all the way up, tightening you through your whole being, all the way through your neck and your head.
Okay, so if we have good balance here, then we're more loose with the stuff above, but if we're not, then we have all this extra work going on.
Exactly.
That's preventing us from moving as well.
Yes.
Okay, so going back to our first video, when we talked about weight shifts, we had discussed that some people think of weight shifts as simply a side-to-side movement. But if you think of it in that terms, what might end up happening is you may have your foot going more to the outside of your foot if you simply think of a weight shift as being side to side. If, however, you think of it more as an up and down movement, then you're able to maybe put more of your weight down into those 4 points, your big toe, your little toe, and also the 2 points of your heel. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Carolyn, for explaining this to us.
You're
and
welcome, Trina.
she'll be back to talking about more stuff. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Happy tangoing.